Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? All right. I think it's a great privilege to be here as part of this FICCI LNOD conference. And in any LNOD conference, Learning and Organization Development Conference, when you are in the midst of L&D professionals from across industries. So going into a conference like this and talking to L&D leaders is always equivalent to carrying coal to the new castle. So the amount of experience that all of you bring in here, all of the experience of all of you put together probably would run into hundreds of years of experience. So I am here not to deliver a talk. I am here to engage with all of you in a dialogue. So that's the intent of being here, to speak to you and then hear you out, engage in a dialogue. In the process, we learn from each other. So I represent an organization called Wipro, and I am leading the talent transformation function for one of the business groups within Wipro, which is called Business Process Services. So as the head of talent transformation for Wipro BPS, I'm responsible for helping 45,000 people across geographies. Almost 80% of them are millennials. About 65 to 70% of them are based out of India, and the rest of them are based out of different countries across the globe in Europe, Latin America, Asia Pacific, and so on. And the challenge is to, kind of help this organization and also the people get ready for what is in store for the organization as well as for the industry. So let me kind of start by sharing a few insights about what the BPS industry is going through today. It's very important for all of us to understand the dynamics in the BPS industry, the industry that I belong to, because my previous two speakers came from two different industries. And here I am talking about Wipro BPS and then the talent development or the L&D case study. So let me kind of start by sharing a little bit of insights about the BPS industry, what's going on today, what we as organizations are grappling with today. So a couple of things, like any other industry, innovation, new technology, global competition, all these are driving the growth of BPO. So, as organizations are trying to focus on their core competencies, they're trying to outsource, which is non-core. So that's essentially driving the growth of this organization, the BPO industry. And the BPO industry is also energized and kind of charged up with these trends as well. Trends like rapid process automation, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, etc., are really playing a big role in reducing cost, accelerating growth, both for the industry as well as for the BPO sector. Predictive analytics is helping BPO organizations to reduce risks, minimize fraud, drive growth. So if you look at essential aspects of BPO industry, since we're in the services space, components like reducing risk, minimizing fraud, etc., are extremely important from the BPO industry standpoint. And BPO is transitioning slowly, evolving into something new called BPaaS, Business Process as a Service. So these are some of the trends that we see in this industry. So what implications these trends have on the industry today, on the workplace and workforce? So we talked about what's happening all around us. Now let's understand how is this impacting people in organizations, especially in the BPO organizations. So implications of new technology, new trends in cloud computing, artificial intelligence, RPA, etc., are going to take away thousands of jobs. So these BPO organizations, which were large enough, might shrink. We'll have to wait and see in terms of size and scale. We will see in this industry men and machines are working together at the same workplace. So when I say men, I meant both men and women. So we'll see human beings and machines working together at the same workplace, one part of the business process being managed by machines, the other part of the business process is being managed by men and women. So that's what we're going to say. While a lot of transactional routine jobs will go away, we'll lose those jobs to robotics, artificial intelligence, etc. We'll see a lot of new roles emerging. So BPO industry, as it moves from BPO to BPaaS, we'll see a lot of platform-based roles coming in. We'll see a lot of domain-intensive roles coming in. While the routine transactional roles will be taken away by automation, we'll see a lot of new domain-intensive, technology-driven roles emerging there. And that would also essentially mean that employees will have to upskill and reskill all the time to stay relevant. Because technology will change, a new technology will come every other day. And then that would mean that people really need to upskill themselves and then start picking up work which is more high-end, more complex, more domain-intensive. Pick up a new technology, understand the new technology, understand how can we deploy new technology, etc. So on one hand, jobs will go away. On the other hand, there'll be new jobs and new roles where we would not have skilled people available in the industry. Employees in the mid-career would struggle to keep pace. So that's what we will start seeing. People in their 40s or maybe late 30s will see that will really start struggling to keep pace, because traditionally this industry was about managing people, managing processes, and many people in the career who started the career as experts in finance, experts in supply chain, experts in different areas, actually lost that expertise as they started managing large number of people, taking care of them, ensuring people are happy so that people can just go and perform transactions. So those people will lose their niche, they will lose their advantage, they will actually struggle to keep pace. So that's the impact that we will see on the workplace and the workforce. What does it mean to people like us? What does it mean to somebody like me, who is responsible for driving training needs of 45,000 people at Wipro BPS? What are the L&D imperatives? These are the L&D imperatives. The organization would expect L&D to build organizational capability in new areas. So as we move from BPO to BPaaS, this means new set of capabilities. As we move from one technology to another, that means new set of capabilities. And the challenge there would be for L&D to do that at a real quick, fast pace, because technology is changing all the time. New business models are emerging all the time. The L&D has to enable people to reimagine careers, because people, as they become redundant, as they become irrelevant, because the skill set is not, their skill set is no longer relevant, we'll have to help them reimagine new careers. L&D has to prepare people for emerging roles at a very fast pace. And the challenge for us is the cycle time, the training, the learning design cycle time. The amount of time that we spend in going to the drawing board, writing the storyboard, preparing, designing the content, developing content, doing a pilot, getting your trainers trained. By the time you're ready to roll out the program, the subject matter is not relevant anymore, because it has changed. There's a new technology that has come in. There's a new domain that has come in that we really need to start preparing our people. So preparing our people for new roles at really, really fast pace is going to be extremely critical. Help leaders deal with change effectively. So before we expect our leaders to drive change in organizations, we'll have to help them manage their own change, first of all, before actually they're ready to help the organization, the teams, drive change. Prepare managers to lead men and machines at the same workplace. So that's going to be a big challenge in the BPS industry, where the managers, supervisors had no idea. They always knew how to manage people. They had no idea how to manage men and machines at the same place. What are the nuances of that? We really need to prepare the managers for that. Enable employees in the mid-career to support themselves. Those who are actually going to lose their jobs, etc. Essentially, all that it means, the imperative for L&D is to help the organization accelerate the deployment of business strategy. We'll just have to accelerate. We'll have to build an organization which is agile, a learning organization which is actually agile and then ready to take on the future. So now let's come to the case study. So we started this journey about 2 years ago. And I intentionally, deliberately spoke a lot about the industry and then what's happening all around us and then the imperatives on the L&D. That gives you the context about our case study. So I have already got the alert that it's time to wrap up. So I will try and then expedite this. This is a VUCA world. You need to be prepared for everything. So we started with the building blocks. And we decided that we need to have the building blocks to become successful. And this is where we started designing our academies.